we're thinking of making these 3 services or 3 times of worship together with somehow of sitting, special sitting, so we can get real benefits from them as much as we can. And as yesterday, if you remember, Jacob told us about Jesus goes to you where you are, and he knows your needs, and he always tries to provide those needs where you are, wherever you are. He knew that Peter looking for fish, and the group with him were really tired of fishing. So he went there, and before he even speak, he provided the fish for them. And that was the first step. Jesus goes to you where you are, and Jesus has chosen you. And if you remember yesterday, also Rolando told us, you are the chosen one. So now we have been chosen. So what about after that? After we've been chosen and we're here now. The scriptures today, the main focus of our scriptures today is this verse. From Jerusalem to the end of the earth. When you look at the scriptures here in general, you will find Jesus telling them from Jerusalem to Judea to Samaria, and then it's for some philosophy. He put this set: Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, the end of the earth. It didn't come like, he could say from Jerusalem, or not even from Jerusalem, to the end of the earth. But for some philosophy, he wanted to show them some wisdom, some good wisdom in this. What was Jerusalem for the apostles? Home. What else? I want you to share with me. Wake up. What else?
It was a persecution city.
Jerusalem.
Yeah.
No, before the persecutions. Before, Jerusalem was home. What else?
Community.
Community, very close community, where they have grown up, and it's their community. That's right. Jerusalem was the very close area, very exclusive area for the apostles, which is your heart, which is yourself, and myself. So Jesus was telling them, when you start from yourself. Witness to yourself. Challenge your faith, so you make it stronger. So then, once you set, like it's like a building, like your faith, it's like a building. You have first to make a foundation. Once you made the foundation, you can build the first floor. So, from Jerusalem to Judea. What was Judea? The country, the society. Judea were the people, they didn't have any problem with them. Their people, their cousins, their families, their community, they're considered as all they were Jews, right? Israelites, all of them, their community. So Jesus also was telling them, you have to witness to your family, to your Judea, your people, your friends, your home. It's also a different message. And from Jerusalem to Judea to Samaria. What was Samaria? Yeah, Gentiles. What was Samaria for them? How they saw Samaria, how the Jews saw Samaria. Enemies. Yeah. Yes, they were nations, Gentiles, they're not from them. Samaria was, the Samaritans were people, they're entirely different from them. Different cultures, different traditions, different thoughts. They were considered as their enemies. They are different from them. They're not like Judean. They're considered like, when I see Samaritan, oh, what are you doing? Remember in John chapter 4 when Jesus met with the Samaritan woman? And the apostles were looking at him like, what is he doing? Talking to a woman and Samaritan women? It was quite hard. So, Samaria, those who are different from you. Those who are do not believe what you believe. Those who are not, they do not agree with what you agree. They're different from you. And they're among you everywhere. People on the streets, your work, maybe in your home. They're different people. So you have to witness to yourself, and then to, come on, wake up, yourself. And then your people, your family, and then your enemies, and then to the end of the earth. Once you could understand this idea of witnessing to those who are different from you, the message of Christ will be so easy. When you read the message, the verse in John chapter 3 verse 16, behold, God loved the whole world and sent His Son to the whole world. Every single one in the world is invited to share the salvation of Christ. We will understand that once we could love our enemies and we could witness to our enemies in many different ways. So, I just wanted this morning to remind you of what you have been through this year. This year, I'm sure we focused a lot on ourselves because we had no other choice to do. Just by myself, not even friends, but also you stretched yourself a little bit to your host family and those who were working with you and with the church where you participated and all these things. But did you witness to those who are different from you? That's what we are going to talk about maybe in Monday when we say bye, about to the end of the earth, because we are going to all over to the end of the earth. So that's what just a little reflection for this morning, to think of what we have been through and what the philosophy of Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria and to the end of the earth. So just now, okay, before the song, we will just give you the paper that you wrote yesterday. And please, Jacob is going to tell us what we should write on the second part of the